We need to also now cut across to Union Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, who's speaking and addressing the media. Let's listen in.
And these included the heads of all public sector and private sector banks. And the principal single agenda really for this meeting was to expand the digital banking itself. Now, one of the principal objects of the reform with regard to currency that has been undertaken by the government is that physical currency must shrink, but the economy has to expand and the trade has to expand. And therefore, what shrinks has to be substituted and further expanded by the digital mode. So already the banking system, as also certain private sector players, have had, besides the conventional checks and the credit cards, in the last few years there has been a huge expansion of e-wallets, there has been an expansion of debit cards and various other modes of transactions. There has also been a series of mobile apps which have come up which facilitate this payment. And in fact, when we look at the figures, we see that the change is already taking place. And the present exercise presents us with a great opportunity to catalyze that change at a greater speed. So we have emphasized to the banks that this is also a great business opportunity for them, because a lot more transactions are going to come into the banking system. And therefore, on a mission mode, they have to take it up with their existing customers and others, this exercise. Now, for this, of course, all modes are required as far as the banks are concerned. There are about 14 lakh POS machines at the retail level which are currently in operation. Now, this figure has to be expanded many-fold. Now, these POS machines are currently not available or manufactured in India, they are all imported. Some large banks have a fair amount of stock of these lying, and they are trying, the banks have been told to acquire them from wherever. The banks have made some suggestion with regard to possible measures which can be taken because of economies of scale, as also the revenue structures, so that the costs can go down, so that the retailers are encouraged and incentivized to really use them. Additionally, with regard to their existing customers, both the methodologies, that is the debit cards and the prepaid cards, the e-wallets, as also the mobile apps are going to be utilized by them. They are ready with their infrastructure. Some of the major banks have already had a lot of success. Contrary to this argument which is made within the political system that Indians are not well adapted to this mode, I think we in the political life of India have to accept that right under our nose, the people are changing as far as their habits are concerned. One startling figure which came out in the course of this meeting today is that there are already 80 crore cards in circulation, of which 40 crores are being actively used by people. And the measure of active user is judged from the user at the ATM machines itself. So contrary to what is normally commented that this is still a far cry, this is a change which was already happening, and therefore this has to be used as a great opportunity to further catalyze this change. And the object of this meeting was to appeal to the banking system and prepare them in a mission mode for expediting this entire exercise. A task force has been set up under Mr. Anil Kachi, the Additional Secretary in the Department of Financial Services, which is going to oversee this entire expansion, particularly with regard to the POS machines. And as I indicated, the whole object of this exercise is the physical currency would shrink, but business and trade would expand, and therefore both the shrinkage and the additionality should really be supplemented in the digital mode. And therefore there is an alternative methodology of doing business this digital mode would be an add-on lubricant to trade and economic activity itself.
Sir, one question. There are talks about the recalibration of the exemption window. So, are we looking at any sort of changes in the over-the-counter?
Well, I think the government, in the course of the day today, because today is the 23rd and so today is the 24th, and the exemptions continue till tonight, and therefore the decision which will be applicable from tonight would be communicated to you in the course of the evening.
What about the exchange of cash? The exchange of
I think all these decisions will be formally communicated to you separately.
सर डिजिटल पेमेंट ग्रामीण इलाकों में काफी ज्यादा कम है, ये कितना बड़ा चैलेंज होगा इसमें खास?
देखिए, इसीलिए ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों के बारे में ये कहा गया कि जहां मोबाइल ऐप्स के पहुंचने में तकलीफ है वहां पॉस मशीन्स का इस्तेमाल करें, और इसलिए उस डिजिटलाइजेशन के लिए भी जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बैकबोन रिक्वायर्ड है वो भी बढ़ेगा, लेकिन छोटे शहरों तक, सेमी अर्बन एरियाज तक इसका एक्सपेंशन में काफी सुविधा आएगी।